Hey friend, grab your coffee, tea, or good
Every
old H2O and
sunrise
settle
brings
in.
another
Because if you're
change.
anything like me, you probably need a moment, and
One
that's the
more
first thing
page,
we should
one
have in our
more
bodies anyway.
beginning.
Welcome to the Balanced
You
NP
don't
Life
have to
podcast.
have it
I'm
all
Dr.
figured
LaTonya King,
out.
and I'm so glad you're
Just
here.
take the
This
next
podcast is all
faithful
about
step.
real conversation, y'all. We keeping it 100, real life, and real purpose. And today's episode is part of the Reinvention Series, a series where we're just talking about what it really looks like to navigate life's next chapter while we're still becoming who we're meant to be. Today's episode is called The Sandwich Generation is Tired. Woo, can we just stop right there? We tired, y'all. Because if you're listening to this episode, chances are you already know exactly what I'm talking about. For those who may not be familiar with the term, the sandwich generation refers to those of us who are caring for aging parents while still raising your children, supporting your family, maintaining careers, we maintaining household, paying bills, and somehow trying to take care of ourselves too, right? I'm pausing, just thinking about that. And friend, a lot of us are tired. I do a lot of posts or content about burnout, about being tired. And it's not because we don't love our families, it's not because we're ungrateful, but because we're carrying a lot. I know I am, and maybe you are too. A few years ago, I found myself living what many people would consider a dream. I had opportunities to work with innovative healthcare organizations, got introduced to the startup world and absolutely love it. I moved cross country to California, y'all. I was building programs with world renowned organizations, leading teams, and just growing professionally, culturally. Experience opportunities. Again, I keep saying this that the younger me who went through what I went through, I've never would have imagined, just being real. And honestly, I loved California. I went there, like I said in the last I visited for my husband's from the Bay Area, and we went for a family reunion, and I fell in love with it. Real talk, before we even left the family reunion, why was I on the phone with the recruiter? And somebody wanted to interview me like that Monday, but we had to leave that Sunday. That's how much I bowed it, y'all. I told my husband, I said, Johnny, they want to interview me on Monday. That's how much I fell in love with it. We went to Napa and visited with all the beautiful King family matriarchs, and I just fell in love with it and with everybody and with the culture. And I love the opportunities, and I just love being exposed to new ways of thinking, right? And if life had unfolded differently, there's a good chance we'd still be there today, right? Even had an opportunity, y'all. I was working on the beach, like literally, like my office, it was just beautiful. And literally, when you go out the back door, there was the beach. So I would take a lunch break and look, I'm just smiling, just thinking about that moment. But life has a way of reminding us that our careers aren't the only thing that matter. Family matters, relationships matter, the people we love matter, and sometimes life calls us into seasons we never planned for. And from the outside looking in, everything looked great, but what people didn't see were the responsibilities behind the scenes. The phone calls, the appointments, the worrying, the planning, the constant just feeling that somebody needed something from you, right? My children needed me, my family needed me, my husband needed me, my family back home, my career needed me, and eventually my parents needed me too. And somewhere along the way, I realized I was standing in the middle of 3 generations trying to hold everything together. 3 generations. Let that sink in just for a minute. And here's something else I've noticed. Oh, and I forgot to add in, I needed me. Okay. But here's something else I've noticed. A lot of times when we talk about caregiving, people assume the responsibility is shared equally across the family. But that's often not the case. More often than not, the responsibility falls disproportionately on one person. And many times it's a woman, the daughter, the sister, the wife, the aunt, the niece, the female family member who becomes the organizer, coordinator, advocate, appointment scheduler, caregiver, and emotional support system for everyone else. And if we're being really honest, 100, it often falls on the eldest daughter. It really does. I remember talking to patients, and we're just talking about advanced directives, etc. And I've realized that is often the case. You know who you are out there. The one everybody calls first, the one everyone assumes will handle it, the one everyone expects to know what's going on. And while, it's a privilege to care for people we love, it can also become incredibly heavy, especially when you're balancing your own career, your own family, your own health, and your own dreams. That gets lost. Sometimes we're carrying so much that we don't even realize how much we're carrying until our body, our mind, our spirit start asking for rest, or you end up in severe pain and end up in the emergency room like I did, right? I remember asking myself one day, I was like, how is it possible to love so many people and still feel completely exhausted, right? So it not only exhausted, but alone a lot of times. Like, dang, you know, how is it possible to love being needed and still wish just for one day nobody needed anything? Is that crazy? Can we just be honest? Like 100. Yeah, I'm from Bordeaux, Nashville. 100. Because both things can be true. You can love your family and still need rest. You can feel blessed and still feel overwhelmed. You can be grateful and still be tired, y'all. As a woman, especially professional women, we're often praised for how much we can carry, but nobody talks about what carrying all of that actually costs. The mental load, emotional load, the physical load, the invisible load. You like, I just can't even explain it. If one more thing, I just can't. The constant planning, the worrying, the laying in the bed at night, looking in the ceiling, up at the ceiling, and that's when everything starts and going through your head. The remembering, the coordinating, the caregiving. And somewhere along the way, many of us, we just stop asking ourselves what we need. We stop dreaming. We just trying to get through day to day. We stop planning. We stop even imagining what's next for us. Everything becomes about survival. Everything becomes about getting through the next day. But friend, I don't believe we're created just to survive. I believe we are allowed to care for others without abandoning ourselves. I believe we're allowed to pursue purpose too. I believe we are allowed to have dreams too. And I believe we are allowed, guess what, to have some rest too. And if nobody has told you lately, you matter too. Yes, you do. Taking my sip of coffee. But And y'all, most importantly, your health matters. Your mental health matters. Your peace matters. Your joy matters. Your purpose matters. And your dreams matter. Y'all, my husband have a podcast called Revisit Your Dreams. Yes, of a plug. If you haven't checked it out, y'all, it's so inspirational. The people that he has on there. It's called Revisit Your Dreams, but that's what it's about. It's never too late. And maybe that's part of the reinvention. Not becoming someone new, but remembering who you were before everyone started needing a piece of you. Whew. That one might have been for me too, right? So if you're part of the sandwich generation and if you're feeling tired today, I want you to know you're not alone. You're carrying more than most people realize, and you're doing better than you think. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's carrying more than they let on. Until next time, keep growing, keep becoming, keep taking the next step, and remember, sis, you got this. This is Dr. LaTonya King. You've been listening to the Balanced MP Life podcast. See you in the next episode. This is your